Hi, good afternoon. This is Matt Wardell, music director and conductor of the Ocala Symphony. And I'm coming to you today to talk a little bit about our opening concerts of the season, October 14th and 15th at the Riley Arts Center. Obviously, this is our third year at the Riley, beginning of our third year at the Riley, and the orchestra is sounding better and better and better, and just really working together. Each concert, it seems to gel a little more. Now that we're in a hall where we can hear each other and we feel our audience, you're always there, and there's been so many of you at every concert, which is incredible. I think we almost sold out every orchestra concert last year, which is great. I think we will get close to that this year, if not do it. And being there has been fantastic. So I'm excited to bring you this first concert of the year, which is going to be pretty fantastic. We're going to start with two pieces by Mendelssohn. First, the Hebrides Overture, or Fingal's Cave Overture, depending on which title the publisher chose at the time. It's an incredible postcard, and almost literally a postcard. There's some pictures that Mendelssohn sent home to his family. You're not going to be able to see this very well, but let me hold it up for a second. So that's a picture that he included in a letter to his family on August 7th of 1829. And in that same letter, here's the letter. You can see here at the top, he actually wrote most of the music for this overture, for this Hebrides Overture. All the melodies here, all the harmonies are here. The B section is here when the music sort of changes a little bit and develops slightly. It's all here in this piece in this letter that he wrote to his family in 1829. It truly was a postcard of these incredible islands that he was visiting, the Hebrides, and I just think it's fantastic. It's one of the most beautiful pieces. It's relatively short, 8 to 9 minutes, but it truly is a type of piece that when you close your eyes, you feel like you're there. And I can't wait to bring that to you. And we haven't done Mendelssohn in a while, so this is a great way to start Mendelssohn. The next piece we're going to do by Mendelssohn to end the first half is his Symphony in D minor, the Reformation Symphony. This year's the 500th anniversary of Martin Luther's 99 Theses. So we wanted to do something to commemorate that a little bit. And this piece, actually, called the Reformation Symphony, wasn't written for the 99 Theses, but was actually written for the writing of the Augsburg Confession, which is one of the founding documents of Protestantism. This was when he wrote this in 1830, would have been the 300th anniversary of that document. So we're nearly 500 years from that one as well. But anyways, he wrote this. There was all kind of, not contests, but celebrations all around Europe for this to happen, particularly in Germany. And he actually missed the deadline, which was that summer, June 25th. He missed the deadline for that, so the piece didn't get to be a part of that. But it became one of his more well-known works. Interestingly enough, he ended up not liking the piece, and I'll be honest with you. He actually wrote, let me find this. He said, "I can hardly stand the Reformation Symphony anymore and would rather burn it than any other piece of mine." And then he added, "It shall never be published." Well, obviously, and thankfully, it was published. And I want to put that statement in context for you. He said that in 1838. This piece was written 7 or 8 years earlier. You got to remember, Beethoven died in 1827. And Beethoven, for European composers and particularly Germanic composers, Beethoven was a big deal, obviously. And many composers then, and for not just a decade or 2 decades, but for hundreds of years now, have had a hard time overcoming the developmental strides and artistic strides that Beethoven was able to make with each one of his symphonies. I was talking to someone the other day, and when you look at Beethoven 1, his first symphony, versus his second, versus his third, and so on, there are at least, off the top of your head, 10 major contributions that each one of those works gave to the genre of symphonic writing, and particularly of symphonies, writing a symphony. So any other composers that came after that felt like, well, if I can't do that, if I can't come up with, I'm exaggerating a little here, but 10 completely new techniques or new ideas, then I'll never be a Beethoven. Brahms had this issue. He was almost forever in the shadow of Beethoven. That's why it took him 40 years to write his first symphony. And Mendelssohn was right there at the time. Remember, Beethoven died in 1827. He started writing this in 1830. But it was his attempt. It was his first large-scale public instrumental work. Remember that a lot of Mendelssohn's stuff was sort of in private, in living rooms and stuff like this. This was his first large-scale public work. It was his first symphony after the death of Beethoven, and his first on that large of a scale, the Beethovenian scale of a symphonic writing. And it may have been his most extreme example of programmatic writing, something that at that time was pretty interesting. I mean, you had Berlioz writing a Symphonie Fantastique, and some other works. This work here, what also makes it interesting, it incorporates some Luther hymns in the piece, and in general, it's just a truly fantastic work. And I think if time had passed a little more, if Mendelssohn could have zoomed out, I don't think he would have hoped to burn the piece. I think he'd be very happy with its place in our repertoire now. And of course, I think there are a lot of things in that statement that I think were attributed to the day-to-day artistic struggle, as opposed to the sort of eon-long artistic presence that a composer like Mendelssohn or Beethoven will have. And it's pretty incredible. I mean, these are men and women, these great composers that we will hopefully be in our milieu for forever. And I know Mendelssohn's there, and his Reformation Symphony belongs in that group as well. After that, we'll go to intermission, and I'm already getting long on time, and I apologize. So I'll be quick with this one. We're going to end begin and end the second half with Rimsky-Korsakov's Scheherazade symphonic suite in 4 movements. Not technically a symphony, but it is a suite, and basically it tells the tale of the Sultana Scheherazade, who was married to a sultan who had the tendency of the night of his wedding. I'm sure after consummating the marriage, he would vow to kill each of his wives after that, because he felt that there was a falseness and faithlessness there that he wanted to sort of eradicate. So he had some issues. Maybe he needed to spend some more time with his mom. But in any case, Scheherazade was very smart and very ingenious, and she thought, I'm going to tell the Sultan a story every night before bed, but I'm not going to tell him the complete ending, so that he has to keep me alive for another day. And this was there were supposedly 1,001 nights that she would tell these tales. And Rimsky-Korsakov took 4 of those stories. The story of the sea and Sinbad's ship is the first movement, the Kalandar Prince the second, the young prince and princess in the third, and the fourth, an exciting festival at Baghdad. He returns to the sea. Then there's a shipwreck, and it breaks against the cliff that's surmounted by this giant bronze statue of a horseman. It reminds me of like something from Game of Thrones. But anyways, all of that descriptiveness is in this score. We're going to be joined by Jessica McCune, a world-class, incredible storyteller. She's going to give us a little tidbit of each story before each movement. Maybe she won't finish each one so that we keep her around for another 1,000 nights, hopefully. And I know you're going to really enjoy that piece. Very, very, very large orchestra, very exciting music by Rimsky-Korsakov. So I hope to see you in just a week and a half, 2 weeks, October 14th and 15th. I can't wait to see you guys again. I know the musicians can't wait, and we are extremely excited to perform for you. But more than anything, it's like I haven't seen my family for a while. So I hope to see you then. Season tickets are still on sale for the rest of the season. It's a great way not to miss out on anything, and there's a lot of stuff you don't want to miss this year. So hope to see you guys soon. Take care. Thank you.